Hey Flosstube. One big difference, I cut my hair. First off and foremost, if you're new, I'm Emily C. or Eclectic Possessions on Instagram. This is a channel about cross stitch. It's also a channel about my life. It is a channel about plants. It is a channel about my cats, but mainly about cross stitch. Yeah, so my hair had gotten really long, like longer than you could see in this photo, and it was just, I had too much hair. I had way too much hair, and rather than doing anything with it, I was pulling it back and putting it in a clip every single day, which is fine, but it just, we were not looking our best and our most stylish. So I found a pic of a shag wolf cut, and I took it to a woman I had never had cut my hair before and said, I want this. And she was like, are you sure? And I was like, mm-hmm. So here we are. I curled it today. This is the first time I've curled it. So it's big, but I kind of dig it. But it's usually not quite this big, but I dig it. I have stitched very few projects since you guys have seen me last. Two. I have worked on 2 projects. But don't worry, because I have a plan to make this an extremely interesting video, even though you're just going to see 2 things. I have a little bit of stash, acquisition, some haul, and then it's Sampler September. So I went through all of my charts over the past couple of evenings, and I pulled some that you guys might enjoy seeing. So we're just going to do a going through Emily Sampler's Stashapalooza, and it's going to be kind of fun. It was fun for me to pull them, and it's going to be even more fun for me to look at them with you guys. And I might even pull a couple to end up kitting up. So there's that. Work has been crazy. Nothing is new. I was talking with Jim yesterday, and I was saying, you know, because the way that my company works, if you don't use your PTO every year, you can only roll over so much, and what you don't use, you lose. And I was like, I either got to start taking a lot of time off or just accept that I'm losing some PTO this year. So I really need to look at that and come up with a game plan to take some time off here at the end of the year. But I don't know how feasible it's going to be. We're going to see. But today is Sunday. It's Sunday, September the 8th. And I work tomorrow and Tuesday, and then I'm taking off Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And Jim and I are renting a cabin in the mountains, a couple of hours, 2 or 3 hours from here. And it's gonna be fabulous. I have somebody house sitting and taking care of the kitties, and that I trust, and it's gonna be great. I'm so excited. But yeah, I really have to figure out time off. First thing that I worked on is Ruth. She's beautiful. Started her the first day of August, and she is just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Doing her with the called for DMC on a piece of Victorian Motto classic sampler. I had hoped to get further along on her, but I just didn't, and that's okay. Sometimes stress keeps us from things, but I got this much done. I was really hoping that I would be able to complete her face so she wouldn't look so creepy. But alas, she's creepy. She's pretty though. I will get back to her. Honestly, probably not until next year. I'm not in any rush to get back to her. Get her back in here. Threads. Zip her up. Okay. This is what I'm currently working on. You've seen it a million times. I've shown it every month this year. This is the Modern Folk Embroidery No Time Like the Present Sow. I am doing this on a piece of Seraphim Fabrics Chai 36 count. I'm doing this 2/2 with Classic Colorworks Polywog in Black Coffee. And I love it. I procrastinated and did not do the August section in August. I literally just worked on Ruth. And so this month I am doing August and September together. I've already done everything on this side. And now I just have to fill in this. Oh, well, there we go. Emily just has a needle poking out. That's shows you how I finish stitching sometimes. So yeah, I just got to fill this in, which is a lot of stitching. Just fill this in. It's probably going to take me 4 or 5 days. This will probably go up to the cabin with me. And who knows what else, because this Friday is Friday the 13th. So yeah, we're going to be out in the woods in a cabin on Friday the 13th. Jim does not love horror movies the way that I do, but he embraces my love of horror movies. He bought me this t-shirt. He's going to be watching some horror movies in the dark in the woods with me, and we're going to have a good time. But I'll take this, I will find something appropriate to stitch on for a Friday the 13th dark stitching and take it as well. Can you tell I'm excited? We get one other Friday the 13th this year, and I think it's in December. Also, if you are new, or if you just need a reminder, Cozy Egg and I host every year the entire month of October, Dark October stitching. And that's where you stitch on something that you deem dark, whether it be a Halloween piece, something creepy, just whatever is dark to you. We don't really have rules. Sometimes I just pull, like if I'm really focused on something, I will just do the black stitching in that piece, and that's my dark stitching. For October though, I genuinely try to work on some spooky pieces. So that's coming. She and I were texting today, and we're planning on doing a Dark October seance again. And by seance, it's a Zoom stitch along. But we make it creepy and we make it fun. And we just hang out. And that will be not on Halloween, but towards the end of October. We're still setting up details. But keep that in mind. Haul. Yesterday, my Color and Cotton September Thread Club came. And it's beautiful, as always. I'm in the Neutrals Club. And it's totally fall colors. It's Hazel, Fortissimo, Barrel Cactus, Sangria, and Pink Quartz. I got my Fabric of the Month from, let's see if I can get it out, from Stitch Me, and it's a really pretty color. This is 36 count, 1/4 yard of Boot Camp. It's a really nice neutral, so I'll have to find something really cool to do on that. Put it in my stash for now. My Threads of History Club came, my 3rd installment, and guys, it's good. It's a good one. They have a print of it that they put in the front, because honestly, the photo on the front of the chart is not good. It's really blurry and just not very good. So I think that's why they put this in here. This is by Cross Stitch Antiques, Julia Rachel de la Mer, 1849. A beautiful French sampler. I think it's French. I could be completely making that up. I can't tell. Sounds French. This is my French sounding sampler, and it is beautiful. You can see the threads, so pretty. And I snagged a bag from Joanna 1966 that I think I'm just going to go ahead and slide this into. I have bags of this fabric from her already, but I just love it. It's really funky, like really funky. And then she used this fabric, which I just absolutely loved. But what you need to know about me buying this bag is I bought two. Emily, why did you buy two bags? Because last Sunday, a week ago, September 1st, was my 9-year, yes, 9-year Flosstube anniversary. I've been doing Flosstube videos for 9 years. So, I bought one of you guys a bag. And it's really pretty. Same fabric on the back. It has like this knitting yarn on the inside. And there's some goodies in here, which should you win it, you will see. So, don't say giveaway. You know, all the normal stuff. Be 18. I'm not going to limit this to inside the United States. I'm going to fill this full of things that I feel like that I love and that you might love, and send it to you once I draw right before my next video. So probably sometime in October. So if you want to win this, put a comment that says something. Can you hear my loud ass husband? Hold, please. Okay. I told him I was going to be upstairs filming, but his phone rang and it was his brother. And I don't know if any of you are or related to Italian Catholics, but they get loud when they get together, and he and his brother get on the phone together, and then they just get louder and louder and louder and louder and louder, and it just snowballs. And sometimes I'm like, honey. So he's lowering it. But should you want to win this, put something in your comment about knitting sheep. And I say that because there is, where is he? There's a sweet little sheep on this bag. And all kinds of stuff about knitting as well. So, knitting sheep. Honestly, I'll probably look for the word sheep. But yeah. And we'll be bag twins, whoever wins it. And yeah, and I'll send you all the goodies, and you'll get a surprise in the mail, and it's going to be fun, because honestly, I enjoy making little gift conglomerations for people. It's one of my love languages. Like, if you're my friend and it's your birthday, if you haven't specifically asked for something, you probably might get a basket, and in that basket is just going to be a random assortment of things that I love and or thought that you would love. I love a gift like that, so you know, it is what it is. We are only 14 minutes in and I'm done, so that is why I pulled all of this, because I know it's Sampler September. And you guys are stitching your samplers and spending a lot of time, and you're like me and you really enjoy the really long ass videos. So we're going to look at some charts. First up, we're going to take a glass of water. Take a sip of my water. Okay. This is one where if there's anyone from the Scarlet Letter that watches my videos, and I don't know if you do or not, probably not, but if you do, please rechart this chart into one of your modern forms. I will buy it. I will promote it. I will talk everybody else into buying it, but I really want this in a modern form rather than the form it is in. So this is, it's not a bad chart. It's just not your new charts. Like, I love the new color booklets that they have, especially for charts like this, where it's really stitch heavy in places. Like, I think I'm going to keep holding out and see if you do a new one. This is Polly Phillip, 1772, and she is a beautiful girl. Let's get her up close so that you can see her. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the one that I'm doing, Man, Dogs, and Deer, but this one is in kind of a triptych horizontal format with a border, with a verse. It's very beautiful. And the colors, that blue, it's so vibrant. But this is available on their website. That is where I bought it. And just know, it's not a hand-drawn chart. It is a non-hand-drawn chart, but it's, let's see, it's, I'll just show you a flash. It's like that. Am I putting that back in the right place? No one knows. No one knows. Probably not. But it's like all folded in on each other. I wish this was in their modern chart format that they do now. This was, it's copyright 2004. So it's a 20-year-old chart. We're lucky it's not hand-drawn. And you'll notice I pulled these from my stash. So there's going to be a lot of designers grouped together because that's the way that I keep them organized and the way I'd like to keep them so I can put them back easier. This one is also a Scarlet Letter chart. This is a European spot motif sampler, B1824. I love the funky ones. Look at that. Look at this completely insane lion. Focus. Not on my face, on the chart. This one, the one that I have, is very similar to Polly Phillip. It is copyright 2002. This is another spot motif sampler. This one I haven't opened up. Honestly, this was a gift from Jessica the Schoolhouse Stitcher. And I love it. I will stitch it one day because I love this era of charts, the 1600s, the 1700s. This is just spot 1640 spot motif. Beautiful. Trying to get rid of the glare. This one is copyright 1985, but it would appear that they have come back and recharted it. It is not in color. Mostly. There's some, like the satin stitches and things like that, they've gotten a different color so you can tell what it is, which is helpful. But it is computer generated and easier to read. than what you would have gotten in 1985. This is Sarah Dutnell, 1818. And one day, this is a Tree of Life sampler. One day Olivia B and I will stitch this together in 1 year. It's a pretty one. Telling you, it's in the evening, so I can't really turn off my ring light. I really need it. I've been trying to do this video for the past week, and it just hasn't been happening. This is an older chart as well. This one is 1997 from the Scarlet Letter. I fell in love with this one after I saw, it's also computer generated, but it is an older computer generated chart. I fell in love with this one after I saw Nicole's Needlework had stitched it, and hers is so beautiful with this like honeysuckle border. This is Rebecca Robinson, a Pennsylvania sampler. It's so busy, but it's so beautiful. Part of me doing this is just because, you know what, it's fun to shop our own stash and to remind ourselves of the beautiful things that we already have. But it's also, you always see the new charts, the new hot thing. So I also thought it might be good to revisit some charts that I have that aren't new, especially for some of the newer stitchers, so that you can see some of the other stuff that's out there. I am going to do my best as I go through this to take things out of plastic bags because you can just see them better. This is a GGR chart. One day I'm going to stitch this, but she's a big girl. She is 318 by 350 stitches. And this is the Big Cat sampler. I have my fan on too. I have the air off up here because it is very, very noisy in this room and it's hot. So I'm thinking of you guys enough to have the air off, but not enough to turn off my fan. This one I don't think I need to take out. I think it's pretty good. This is just a really pretty symmetrical sampler. Like, I often like chaos, and I mean chaos, but the symmetry of this one is really soothing. This is a Shakespeare's Peddler chart, Two Skinny Dogs, or Martha Mulder, 1859. This was released in 2020, so it's not that old. I'm telling you, some beautiful symmetry. And this is charted in, it looks like DMC. That's cool. Yeah. Oh, no. These are Weeks Dye Works threads. She just doesn't have that listed in the chart. So Weeks Dye Works, but there is a DMC conversion. I should kit this up. Maybe I should be doing 2 stacks. Yeah, I should be doing 2 stacks. This one I'm putting in the, maybe let's kit that up stack. Okay, this one is a Hats Hands Across the Sea sampler, and I bought it because the colors. This came out in 2019, and I downloaded it because I wanted it so badly. Plus, I kind of like the downloaded charts are, I can take 1 page at a time and magnet it to where I'm stitching, and I personally like that. I love this chart. This is Anna Sophia Bircham, 1871, and the border. It's a Norfolk sampler. The birds, the bee skep. It's getting close where you can see the border and how pretty it is. Yeah, definitely a religious verse. But if you're like me and you're not into that, rechart it. Put something else in there. Or make friends with somebody who can rechart it for you. And y'all can just figure that out together. Let's see. This I probably wouldn't kit until I'm ready to do it. I would do this in DMC. So that'll just go over here. This is another hats chart. This one came out in, does not say, it's not new, it's not super old, but it is beautiful. I have seen it stitched, never in person, but lots on Instagram. Just look up the hashtag of the name of it and you'll see it lots of times. The border is breathtaking. This is Jane Bannister, 1855. The colors, when you see it, it's just so breathtaking. The cats, this little pictorial pastoral scene. Excuse me. Hair caught my glasses when I'm sneezing. Going through all of these old charts, stirring up a little dust. That's okay. This is a good one. I think I bought this in the clearance section a while ago, which I just didn't understand, but I love an odd sampler. This is an odd sampler, but it's beautiful. This is Queenstown Sampler Designs, Susan Spire, 1827. It's an adaptation. Let's see if we can't get it just right. It's so pretty. It's like a little map of their farm, maybe. It's so pretty. This one came out in 2017, and it's charted for NPI and DMC. And then there are also some Thread Gatherer Silken colors, 2 of them, to really get probably some of the good variegation on a couple of those. Oh, the next one, love it. It's really good for you to go through your stash and remind yourself of all the cool stuff you have. This one is by Samplers Remembered, Linda Danielson, and I can't see all of the the threads and stuff. This is the Mexican Schoolgirl Practice Sampler, 1830. I loved all of the little borders and the colors, and of course the cat. Pretty beautiful. Really, really pretty. And I think I have to know while we're sitting here what this is charted for. DMC and silks. Looks like maybe NPI. Yeah, it's really pretty. Very pretty. I love those colors. This was a unicorn chart for me for a long time. It's in print, so don't fret. It was just hard to find. No one in the US carried it, but now, Teresa of Shakespeare's Peddler, or blah, 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 blah. What is her store called? 'Cause I can't think of it right now. What is her store called? 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 What is I'll put it here. I'm having a moment. She just moved though. I'm not sure if her shop is back open or not. If it's not, it should be soon. This is Samplers Forever by Claudia Ciceri. And this is Sarah Needham. Let's take it out. I love this because of the border. And I love it because of the lawn. I love a patchwork lawn. It's like the little girl ran out of the color and just was like, no, well, this works. This section will be this color green. And I'm here for it. You patchwork your lawn, little girl. She was 9 years old when she stitched this. Yeah, very beautiful. Also from the same designer is this other one that I love. It says Louisa Mollett, 1875. I would love to see these stitched. I'm not religious, but I love an Adam and Eve sampler for some reason. I think I love trees. So there's always a big, beautiful tree. Very pretty. Also one I'm sure you can get on Kitten Stitcher. Kitten Stitcher. You can get it on Kitten Stitcher's website. Look at me remembering shit without having to look it up. This one I bought because it's a beautiful sampler, but it was also done by an Emily. So I have a spot in my heart for Emily samplers. This is by Whilst Iris Snaps Designs. I downloaded this one, and it's an English reproduction sampler, Emily Harbin, 1824. I think there's 2 colors in this. One of the things that I like the most about it is it says, whatever you dislike in another person, take care to correct in yourself. But she put her name on either sides of yourself. So it almost looks like it says, whatever you dislike in another person, take care to correct in Emily, which is herself. I should stitch this. It would probably be a really fast stitch. Maybe we put this one to kit up. This is a thick chart. 283 by 239 stitches. But it's a hefty chart. This is by the Wishing Thorn. I bought this because, honestly, I had never seen a sampler that looked like this. And I fell in love with it because of that, the funkiness of it. It says Mary Barr, 1828. The geometry. This is, of course, the antique. So I feel like if you stitched it, all of that would probably pop more and be much more prominent. I should look up and see if someone has stitched this, what it looks like. Very pretty. This next one, I think there's a group here that I showed last year, but it's been at least a year since I showed them. I got them at the attic when I went the one time I've ever been. This one, if you are a horror and true crime lover like myself, should be in your collection as a sampler. This is from Cross Stitch Antiques. This little sampler originated in Fall River, Massachusetts. Mary Ann Borden. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm assuming this is... I think I read, and this is, maybe she was a relative of Lizzie Borden. There's no way she wasn't related to Lizzie Borden. Same name, same town. But this is a memorial sampler for her brother who died when he was 3. Yeah. Really pretty. But yeah, she has her brother's name and info about his age and death at the bottom. This is a one that I got from the attic. So if you want it, call the attic. At the time I got the last one they had. Hopefully they have reordered. This is by the Traveling Stitcher. And this is Adam and Eve Long and Lean. Like I said, I love a good Adam and Eve sampler. One that a lot of people may not have seen. Whew. Guys, the things I do for you. I think it's 75, 76, 77 degrees up here. This one is by 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers. And this is Art is Long and Time is Fleeting, Elizabeth Cole. I would stitch this verse in a different thread because you can't read it. They were trying to be true to the antique, I get that, but the verse reads, life is real, life is earnest, and the grave is not its goal. Dust thou art, to dust returnest, was not spoken of the soul. Elizabeth, aged 10 years. I love kind of a morbid sampler, if you can't tell. It looks so happy, though. I would probably change these colors dramatically. Very pretty. This is a chart from Milady's Needle. It does have some over 1 in it, if that is something that you are not into. I saw a model at the attic. I initially would not have been drawn to this chart, but you know, sometimes you see the model and you're just like, wow, that's beautiful. And it is beautiful. This is Marion Carrington, 1834. She's really pretty stitched up. The photo just does not do this justice. But yeah, this is one I bought just because the model was beautiful. We're getting there. I bought this one 2 years ago. It's not that old. It was released 2 years ago. This is Little Robin Designs, the Charming Cow Sampler. I bought it for the colors. I loved how bright and funky it was. This is a variety of DMC, Gentle Arts, Weeks Dye Works, and Classic Color Works. And it's a small sampler. This is 134 by 133. To me, that's a small sampler. Maybe we kit this one up. This is a Pineberry Lane chart. Really tried to get you guys a good variety. This is Elizabeth Baker, 1844. Youth is the morning, bright and gay, and if 'tis spent in wisdom's way, we meet old age without dismay, and death is sweet at last. Until when I was straining to read that a little, the verse is in a lighter gray, a little hard to read. But lovely. The further down we get, the older the charts get. I've got some that I bought vintage, but a lot of them, most of them, I think have been re-released. So that's a plus. This one, maybe not. This is called Barbara's Sampler by Holly Designs. And I just like it. It's got like all these motifs and borders and a ship and a tree and what looks like a tombstone. Charted for DMC and Anchor. And if you want to try to look for it, I'll let you grab all the info. I got this on eBay. Just browsing samplers one day and saw it and was like, ooh, I like that. This is copyright 1997. You know, when you see a vintage sampler that you like, grab it. This is a sampler that you can still get. It has been printed on its own. It is also available, I believe, in old copies and in the, I think, don't hold me to this. Pretty sure this is in the Sampler and Antique Needlework Quarterly disc that you can get of everything. If I'm wrong, somebody comment down below and I'll correct myself next time. But I think it is. No, I'm second guessing myself. This is Susan Rambo, 1839. This is pretty well known as a sampler with a gorgeous border. And let's get in close and see that border. And there's a duck on it. And a couple of squirrels. I mean, you gotta love a sampler with a duck and squirrels. But yeah, that is, I think, I don't know. But yeah, this is by Cross Point Designs. Sampler reproduction by Janice Lockhart. This is a chart that Jim got me, and I love it. This is a chart by Needle Made Designs, and it's Sarah Sophia Hay, 1848. And the atom in it looks like a member of KISS. Here's the chart, and we're gonna really get in close so you can see this KISS superstar. Yep, there he is. It would help if I held it so the fan wouldn't blow it. It's a beautiful chart. I put it on my wish list because it's a gorgeous sampler, but the KISS atom really ramped it up there for me. Okay. I think McKenna from 1884 Stitchery has recharted this and re-released it. If not, go look on her website. If not, it comes up on eBay. This is Amy Eliza Herbert sampler from the Dar Museum. And it's this beautiful checkered house. So pretty. This is definitely one of those old charts that holds up. It says, "When I am dead and in my grave, and all my bones are rotten, when this you see, remember me, that I am not forgotten." I mean, a pretty common memento mori verse, but I love that it's on this chart. I should kit this up. Whew, this is not a good chart. McKenna, I need to rebuy this chart from you, because the old one is not a good chart. And someone has stitched this. I bought it used and it is ripped and taped back together. I'm going to put this over here to look it up myself on McKenna's site and repurchase. I also think that McKenna recharted this one. If not, this is a much better chart. It folds out, but this one I can use what I have. But I think that McKenna redid this one too. This is a Canterbury Designs chart. This is the Jane Woodward sampler. Very pretty. Try not to get there we go. I liked this one, not just for the beauty of the sampler, but the birthday on it. It says, let all your words and actions be sincere. And then it says March 25th, which is my birthday. So I was like, ooh. So that really made this one speak to me. This is charted for DMC. Let's stick that back over there. Another old one. I keep saying I'm going to start this and I never have. This is another one that folds out. This is Reproduction Sampler 3 by Homespun Elegance. This is the Lucy Red sampler. It's an old chart that has definitely held up and is beautiful. If you don't have this one, you should snag it. I don't know if this one has been redone. McKenna, feel free to flood the comment section if you have re-released any of these. This one has the DMC shoved in it. I was going to start it and then I never did because I was really torn. This is a chart that was released from the Worcester Art Museum a long time ago. And mine has the original paper that you're supposed to it has people that you're supposed to have the paper and like glue stitch whatever to the chart so that it will look like this. Like only their heads are paper. And I saw someone doing it who was freehand stitching like all of them. And I kind of love that. One day when I'm really old, I will do this. This is a beautiful sampler. And I think takes a very proficient advanced stitcher to complete it the way that it should be completed, because there's a lot of non-cross stitch and freehand embroidery in this piece. And one day when I'm feeling highly capable and not as stressed, I'll tackle Mary Slatter. This chart I bought when it was out of print. I thought hard to get. Now you can get this from Hillside Rookery. Olivia B. Has all of the Exemplar Dames charts now. And this is one of my favorite that they ever released. It's a beautiful Quaker, and this is Forgiveness. Look how beautiful. I love a Quaker, and I love a Quaker that is done not monochromatic. This is DMC and NPI. We have one chart left. It's a newer chart, probably the newest one that I have shown. This was released in 2023, and I just feel like that you don't see it enough. This is by Quaint Rose Needle Arts, and this is Charlotte Watkins, 1866. It's beautiful. And it is charted for Eversois and DMC. It's a beauty. That is it. I hope you guys are enjoying your sampler September and you're stitching all of the wonderful samplers. As soon as I get caught up on this piece and do some Friday the 13th stitching, I'm going to pull out samplers for the rest of the month. So I'm pretty excited about that. I haven't settled on exactly what yet, so that's going to be a surprise for both of us. And just remember, if you want me to fill this bag with goodies just for you, put a comment down below that talks about knitting sheep. And if you're not interested in the giveaway and you just want to say hello and let me know that you made it all the way to the end, you can put a teapot emoji. A teapot emoji. There's also teapots on this fabric, and like it's all these little details that I love so much. Like you can see it there, the little shiny teapots. It's just cozy. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy your sampler September. I'll enjoy the cabin. We start a new class at work this week on Tuesday. So that means late nights at work for me for the next 2 months. But it's all for the good of the kiddos, right? And also, if you're new here and you haven't heard me say, I manage a CASA program here in the U.S. in a couple of counties in Georgia. And if you don't know what CASA is, it's Court-Appointed Special Advocates. And basically what I and my staff do is we recruit and train volunteers and teach them how to advocate for children in the foster care system primarily. But we also advocate for kids who haven't technically been put into foster care, but maybe have been placed in the temporary custody of a relative or something like that, and their parents are still working a case plan through the court to reunify with them. So we match volunteers up with kids in sibling groups, and they walk with those children until they're either back home with their parents or have whatever their happy ending looks like is our goal. Although we really push for reunification if that's what we can do for the kiddos. With that being said, if that sounds like something that pulls at your heartstrings that you might want to do, CASA is a national program in the United States. It was started in Seattle by a judge decades ago. And if you're in Georgia, as of last year, every single county in the state of Georgia has a CASA program. They may not have one just for that county. Like we operate 2 counties. Some programs operate way more counties than that, but every single county has a CASA program that they can call their own. And that's it. That's it. Enjoy Sampler September, and I'll see you guys next time.